In Fact Check, there is the line, "I am the art, hang me in the Louvre." What kind of moment from NCT 127's story so far do you think is deserving of a spot in the Louvre?
Well, I just want to say that's my part. So thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Hi, I'm Rianne Daly, and I'm joined by NCT 127 for the latest in Enemies in Conversation video series. Hi guys, how are you? Hello. You just released your latest album, Fact Check. With the title track, you've made a big comeback. What were your first impressions of that song when you first heard it?
We had a few options, and when we heard the song Fact Check, we thought, oh, this is a song we should do because it's a song that we will probably be able to perform really well because the song itself is it has Afrobeat, so it has a lot of energy, and like the people watching we knew would have a lot of fun listening to it as well.
It's very confident and it's kind of almost confrontational in its attitude. Yeah. When you were going in to record it, how did you get yourselves into that kind of mind zone to portray that energy?
Well, we always have confidence while going into the recording booth. But this time, like the beat itself too, it gives you those like vibes, and also like listening to our members' chants or stuff, or our like ad-libs, they all gave the confident like energy.
The song also contains the idea of being limitless, which is something that comes up a few times in your back catalogue. How does the idea of kind of limitlessness motivate you or help keep kind of pushing you forwards?
Well, I think when it comes to the concept of being limitless, it kind of goes back to how we first originated, and it really stems, it's kind of in our roots. I think NCT, like the brand itself, was always aiming for having infinite possibilities and being basically limitless. And so I think that term really suits our music and our concepts very well. And I think we're still striving for that, because whether it be our style, like aesthetics, or just our music or our performance, we're always kind of pushing forward and broadening our boundaries. So yeah, we're limitless.
Do you feel like that concept gives you more freedom as a group than if you didn't have that?
If you have like more freedom, then you have more responsibility. So like I think that also relates to the limitless thing, because like we do feel limitless, but that also follows like more strict, like stuff. So like we are limitless, but it also has lots of responsibilities to it.
What would you say some of those responsibilities are then?
Not getting wrong on the number while performing. So like you might be like 1.5. Like we all have our like positions while dancing, but you shouldn't get it wrong, because like we have lots of good, performances.
In Fact Check, there is the line, "I am the art, hang me in the Louvre." What kind of moment from NCT 127's story so far do you think is deserving of a spot in the Louvre, and why?
Well, I just want to say that's my part. So thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Well, I would have to say the beginning, like Limitless, when we first showed ourselves to the world as a limitless concept. The song Limitless by NCT 127 would be the song, the art to put in the Louvre.
One of my personal favorite songs on the album so far is Love is a Beauty. The Korean title, Pyoreshi, translates as Star Poetry or Stars Poetry, which sounds very romantic, but I believe the song is actually about your experiences as a group. How does that Korean title kind of relate to the stories that you're telling in that song?
별의시 가사를 저희도 참 좋아하는데, 가사를 보면은 그 약간 저희 9명을 약간 은유해서 표현한 부분들이 있더라고요. 찬란한 저 9빛의 뭐 이런 부분들이 막 저희가 별이 됐다는 약간 그런 느낌을, 뭐 태일이 형이 의도했는지 모르겠지만 그런 느낌을 주기도 하고, 또 약간 팬분들이 저희를 바라봤을 때 약간 별을 보듯이 봐주시는 분들이기 때문에 저희가 하는 노래랑 이런 것들이 팬들을 위한 선물 같은 의미처럼 느껴져서 저는 그런 부분으로 그 별의 시를 굉장히 좋아합니다. 가사적으로.
Mark and Taeyeon, you worked with Taeyeon in the writing of this song. What were your kind of inspirations or intentions behind Love is Beauty?
Well, for me, I didn't really discuss. All right, yo, let's like with Teo about how. Oh yeah, I pictured our members, the nine of us, to be stars. Like I didn't really get that idea. I just kind of, I guess we each had our own different interpretations. So for me, I feel like the title of the song really just mapped out how I should kind of write this. Love is a beauty, and what do I think of love as? Like, how do I think of it as beautiful? And I realized that love does not really come easy, but loving you is easy for me, and that was what I thought was beautiful, and that's how I wrote my part. Yeah.
Taeyeon, how about you?
For me, I'm actually don't know about to love, but when I grew up in my team and then when I saw our fans and citizens, and that time I learning a lot of something kind of love. So I want to deal add to that kind of emotional in the lyrics. So I really a lot repeat I love you, I love you, I love you. It's like that. So yeah, that's my inspiration.
Mark, with what you were just saying about how you didn't discuss with Taeyeon the ideas that you're having for the song, is that kind of how it usually works for you guys when you're working on lyrics together?
There are times where we do discuss it, but I just remember I was on tour for NCT Dream when they gave me the song, when they gave me which part to write. And that was when Taylor's version of the song already came out. We were supposed to write the remaining blanks. And so I was on tour, and I think he was in Korea, and we were just texting each other about, all right, I'm gonna write like this and this. I think it's different for every song, but usually we don't really get to be in one room and to discuss it like every time. So I think we kind of got used to it too.
Mark and Taeyeon also worked on Misty. Can you tell me how that song came about?
이것 또한 뭔가 사랑의 종류죠. 사랑의 종류 중 하나인 것 같은데 이제 이별의 감정인데 마치 상대방이 소나기처럼 지나간다면은 그때 드는 감정이 뭘까를 생각하면서 많이 썼던 것 같아요. 근데 만약에 어쩔 수 없이 보내야 한다라는 느낌이 너무 들 것만 같아서 뭔가 좀 아련하게 썼던 것 같습니다. 네.
I think the only thing I remember was I really enjoyed writing that part because Misty came to me at a time where I was kind of feeling misty. Like I think I was getting treatment on my back while like when I heard it, and I was like lying down, and I'm pretty sure it rained that day too, like at that time, and I just felt like this was a song I kind of needed, and I was glad I got to co-write it. So
Another fave of mine from the album is Je ne sais quoi. There's the line in that which is we got the sauce. What would you say is 127's sauce? Kind of what does each of the members bring to it to make the sauce of 127?
I mean, you could say that NCT 127 is kind of like a full course meal because each member brings something else to the table, and I think that's what makes a team. And each one of us really has a different story, a different background, a different thing that they do bring to the table. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna give an example, but like,
I'm more of a ranch.
what are you?
I like there are hot sauces, there are ranches, there.
I mean, but like actually, how every member is so different makes NCT 127 so special, in my opinion.
And we have what everyone we can fit anyone's taste too, like because we have that many different sauces.
Like for example, I think each member has a different taste in music. Like each and everyone likes different types of music, but in the end we do make one song together, and that just brings a bunch of genres together to make NCT 127.
I'm sure you guys put a lot into this album. What would you say are kind of your favorite moments from either recording or writing or filming the video, anything else that you've done in preparation for this comeback?
저는 개인적으로 이제 저희가 이제 티저를 이제 찍었을 때가 생각나는데 각각 멤버 한 명씩 다 다른 그런 컨셉을 갖고 찍은 거에 있어서 팬분들께서 사실 너무 좋아해 주시더라고요. 그땐 좀 어떻게 나올까도 좀 많이 궁금했는데 뭔가 정말 기대를 불러일으킬 만한 그런 티저였던 게 너무 좋았고 저는 그때 같이 찍었던 아주 조그만 강아지가 너무 귀여웠습니다.
저는 솔직히 그 이제 127 앨범을 준비를 하고 있는 스케줄은 아니었는데요. 이제 저희가 명절 전까지 엄청 힘 빡세게 달리다가 이제 도영이랑 잔이랑 마크랑 해찬이가 잠깐 나오라고 해가지고 이제 곱돌이탕이라는 걸 먹으러 갔었는데 그때 솔직히
나올 줄 몰랐어.
근데 솔직히 의도치 않게 각 멤버들이랑도 앞으로의 뭔가 비전이라던가 앞으로 가야 할 길이라던가 혹은 지금 그 멤버가 고민하고 있는 것들 이런 것들을 얘기를 들어보고 대답하는 시간이 있었는데 가장 뭔가 감동이었고 뭔가 멤버들과 더 한층 단단해진 느낌이 들었던 때였던 것 같아요.
저는 뮤비 때가 좀 생각이 많이 나는 것 같은데 그 인천의 어떠한 대교 위에서 단체 댄서분들과 함께 단체 고무신을 찍었던 그 장면이 아직도 새록새록하네요. 그게 좀 인상 깊지 않았나. 네, 멋있었습니다. 네.
When you guys are starting to work on a new album, do you go back and look at your last release to kind of evaluate the things that you did well and what you want to work on and improve? And if you do, then what were your kind of conclusions from Two Baddies and AO that you brought into Fact Check?
One thing that I remember, this is just like a detailed part. For example, we had a song called Yunsil in the Two Baddies album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a second I questioned myself. But we were like, oh, I think it sounded so good when we did it at a concert. And we were like, I think we should have another song like Yunsil. And I think that kind of made Love is a Beauty for this album. And stuff like that, we really do evaluate, we reflect on what we had. Not even just the previous album, but like even like to like the sticker albums and to the Kick It album. And I remember even in the car with like Johnny, after we finished our recording, we kind of compared together, and we were like, oh, like this one's good, and like, oh, this one's kind of similar to that. And I think it's an ongoing process.
How do you think Fact Check compares to previous albums that you've put out then?
I think each time we come out with an album, we get to perform it, and then we realize what this song feels like to perform. And I think each time we make a new album, we think about what kind of song will look really good in a concert. So each time we make an album, it just gets better and better. And that just means that this album will probably be the best one we have yet.
Musically, who would you say, or what were you looking to for inspiration in terms of like the performance aspects, the writing, the recorded, the energy of the performance and the recording?
저는 개인적으로 그 팩체크 녹음할 때 영챈스 작가님이 디렉을 봐주셨는데 또 곡을 써주시기도 했고 그래서 그분이랑 좀 진짜 많은 얘기를 하면서 하나하나 디테일을 좀 만들어갔던 것 같아서 이번에는 좀 영챈스 형한테 좀 많이 영감을 받으면서 했던 것 같습니다.
그리고 사실 이건 누구한테 영감을 받았다기보다는 저희가 이번에 뮤직비디오를 서울 곳곳에서 찍었는데 저희가 서울을 기반으로 뭔가 뻗어나가자라는 팀의 의미가 있었던 만큼 뮤직비디오 전체적인 컨셉을 한국적인 느낌을 많이 담아보려고 했어요. 의상에도 뭔가 한복 같은 그런 전통 의상도 입어보고 해서 뭔가 이번에는 서울팀인 만큼 뭔가 그런 되게 전통의 한국스러운 것들을 좀 많이 표현하려고 했던 것 같아요.
In case you didn't know, the 127 is the longitude of Seoul. And I think that's just forever in our identities as a team. But I think it kind of like with Limitless, it always just links with our music because like it's part of our core. And so whenever we want to express something that has Korean aspects or just that traditional vibe, it's never been like a stranger to us. It's always been pretty natural, and we were like, yeah, this is something that we should do and we can do. So, yeah, and this is one of those cases.
I feel like NCT is kind of very future facing. How do you feel about merging the traditional and the future side of things?
음악은 퓨처리스틱한데 컨셉은 좀
뭔가 그 옛날 거에서 오는 그런 신선함이 있는데 좀 그 부분을 의상이나 이런 그리고 또뭐 촬영을 어떻게 하는지에 따라 이런 걸로 좀 많이 표현을 할 수 있었던 것 같아서 잘 묻어놨던 것 같아요.
As well as working as a group as 127, you also often work on your own solo material or with like different units within the NCT collective. How does having that space to work either by yourself or with other members of NCT kind of impact what you do together as 127?
뭐 저 같은 경우는 이제 127 사실 솔직하게 말씀드리자면은 지난 앨범부터 127이 뭔가 보여드릴 수 있는 것들은 정말 많이 보여드리고 있다라고 생각이 들어서 저는 뭔가 다음 앨범이 있다면은 그 다음 앨범은 뭔가 멤버들이 만들어놨던 곡이라던가 혹은 만드는 곡으로 채워봐도 굉장히 NCT 127스럽지 않을까라는 생각이 들기도 하는 것 같아요.
So you're a group that always seems to be doing something new. And I think you've said before that NCT means always working with what's still to come. How do you make sure that you're always kind of moving forward with your music and pushing ahead, pushing boundaries?
For this album, I just looked back and I realized, and I just want to say this, like it's not just about us. We have multiple meetings with our A&R and our management, and during those meetings, even for this Fact Check album, we had, and like what Johnny said, we had various options for the title track, and the title track is everything orbits around that title track, and so this decision has always been the most important. And so while we were deciding on which track to use, I think it really got divided because we were like, should we do something that's that's easy to be commercialized, or should we do something that's very futuristic? And I think in that meeting, or in those type of meetings, we really really set our mindset to be on the same page. And during those meetings, we really realized, NCT 127 has always done something very new but experimental at the same time. But all of those styles were still NCT 127, and that's where we kind of find that balance, I think. And so, I think those meetings is where we really kind of
Measure?
Yeah, I think those. To me, I feel like those meetings play like a very important role into the direction we're gonna go to.
One of the exciting things about NCT 127 is how you have this experimental side to you, but you've also become so big. And last year you headlined the Olympic Stadium here twice. What were your memories of those shows, first of all?
굉장히 저는 그때 어떤 생각을 했었냐면 일단 한국에서 되게 큰 공연장으로 했다라는 그 결과적으로 봤을 때 너무너무 뿌듯한 것도 있었고, 그리고 저는 이 다국적인 팀으로 일본 사람으로서 뭔가 다른 뭐 덤투하나 그런 걸 했었을 때 굉장히 멤버들이 되게 잘했다라고 해줬거든요, 저한테. 근데 그런 거랑 반대로 그때 했을 때 한국인 멤버들이 굉장히 되게 그 속에서 나오는 되게 기쁨을 되게 느꼈거든요. 그래서 그런 걸 느꼈을 때 되게 저도 기뻤지만 멤버들이 저만큼 더 이상으로 기뻐하는 모습을 봤을 때 되게 뭔가 마음이 따뜻해졌던 기억이 나는 것 같아요. 네.
When the concert go to the end, I saw the Doyoung's crying far away. So I thought the member is really important to me in that time. So I felt that. So I want to protect them, my team, 127 things, all the things. So I really proud our team too. Yeah.
You celebrated your 7th anniversary together earlier this year. How would you say that 127 has evolved as a group, and where do you want to go next?
보시는 대로 성장했고요. 너무 달라졌잖아요. 뭔가 근데 이런 외형적으로도 정말 저희가 지금 봐도 너무 애기들이 데뷔를 했었던 느낌이 있어서 그때와 되게 많이 성장을 많이 했다고 생각을 하고, 그리고 뭐 마인드라든지 정말 활동을 하면서 배웠던 것들, 그런 것들이 7년 동안 많이 쌓여서 이제 활동을 하면서 뭔가 육체적으로는 힘들지만 뭔가 마음적으로 힘들 때마다 멤버들끼리 의지하고 하는 그런 부분들이 굉장히 많이 성장하고, 그런 것들이 저에게 되게 건강하게 작용을 해서 그냥 활동하는 것 자체만으로도 저희는 성장했다고 많이 생각합니다.
I'm very excited to see where you guys go next. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you so much.